Hey everyone, welcome in. The Diablo 4 patch 1.2.3 patch notes just came out. It releases on December 5th, 2023. Today is December 1st. And happy December. I hope you're feeling cozy. First of all, I just wanted to thank you all for all of the support that you've shown in all the videos. You guys seem to really like this style of videos. So let's go over the patch notes real quick. I want to highlight a few things for you first, and then we'll kind of dig deep. So first of all, one of these fixes that's way down here in bug fixes, says fixed an issue where bonus elemental damage affixes of Nightmare Dungeons scaled their damage too low or too high for their respective tier. So if you don't know, there is a bug in the game right now where certain damage over time effects will do too much damage to you in Nightmare Dungeons. In fact, they do an insane amount of damage. And it's very dangerous, particularly for hardcore characters. So right now, a lot of people are just salvaging all of the sigils that have damage over time on them just to be safe so that you don't lose your character. So this bug fix sounds like it might be fixing that. It doesn't specifically call out the damage over time, but maybe there is a different problem that is related to the outcome that we're seeing in game. So this could be the fix for that. I haven't seen any sort of dev confirmation on Twitter or anything of that, but this little tiny little note down here in the bug fixes may actually be a really big deal. Of course, on December 5th, we're going to be able to enter the Abattoir of Zir. Check out the channel for my favorite Necromancer Abattoir of Zir build. I'm also going to be putting a couple other builds up. If you don't like that one, I'll have a few alternatives for you. This is a huge new game mode. If you haven't been following, it's basically a greater rift from Diablo 3. However, it's a little bit different in the sense that we now know that if you die in the Abattoir of Zir, the current run of that abattoir is done. So you use a sigil to open it. If you die, you can't just keep going. You are done. So there is more of an emphasis on survivability than you might be used to from a Diablo 3 style Greater Rift, and it's sort of a one and done kind of deal, which I really like. There's sort of a bit more weight to it when you do that. Also, the devs did confirm on the live stream yesterday that if anyone in your party dies, that it's done for everyone. So we haven't confirmed that in game yet, but it looks like if you have 4 players and one of those players dies, then the entire abattoir is done. You get ported out. That's it. So that's pretty cool. Surviving is going to be very important. And we do also know that the Abattoir of Zir starts at about what you would feel a Nightmare Dungeon 104 would be. So you want to make sure you can complete Nightmare Dungeon 100 before entering the Abattoir of Zir. Anyway, let's keep going. A full list of possible affixes can be previewed in the enchantment menu using the new View Possible Affixes button. This is a really good change and really good update. And frankly, this is something that should have been in the game when the game launched. I'm very happy that it's here, but frankly, this was a massive oversight. This is something that was in Diablo 3 and something that most ARPGs include in enchantment and crafting systems. And it's just a big pain in the butt to have to Alt-Tab and go Google all of the affixes and, is the source up to date? And you have to ask all those sorts of questions. So now the one in game will be available and we don't have to worry about that anymore. Earned glyph experience from most Nightmare Dungeons was increased. So this is a great change. It looks like this is about 20, 30, 40, 50. No. Yeah. It looks like this is a sliding scale where this is about 60% increase. This is about a 50% increase. This is about a 40% and 30% increase. So it looks like this is a sliding scale that as you get higher and higher Nightmare Dungeon tier, that you're going to get more XP or glyph XP for those Nightmare Dungeons. That's very good. I think that's a good change. And it's also not such a big change that it's going to be game breaking, I think. Introduce further support for NVIDIA Reflex. I actually have no idea what that is. Maybe that's a Google search for me later. And let's see, we have a couple of accessibility fixes here related to screen readers with vampiric powers and Steam Deck. So for those of you who use screen readers in order to play the game, that's going to be really great for you. We have a number of fixes here related to dungeons. So Mechanical box in Bastion of Faith now respawns if the player is killed by the boss. Fallen Temple dungeon, they sort of fixed the idol objective. So if you killed the idol instantly, if you bonked it with your barbarian, then you couldn't complete the objective. There's an issue where the debuff effect in Fallen Temple could be avoided when leaving and re-entering the dungeon. So now you can't avoid the debuff effect. They fixed an issue from Soul Survivor that could spawn behind locked doors in Hollowed Ossuary, blocking event mastery completion. Oh, I see. Okay. So these are like small events, but these are small bug fixes. But I guess the big takeaway from this is that they're paying attention to a lot of these smaller fixes. And I think what this really shows me when I see bug fixes like this, where you go, that's some small stupid thing that I've never encountered, it shows that the developers really care. And I can't really speak about Blizzard's other games, but my impression for Diablo 4 since we started interacting with the development team way back in beta is that these folks really, really care and are really passionate about Diablo and about the game and about the community. And so these are the kinds of fixes that you normally wouldn't get out of a game where the developers just really don't care about you. Okay, let's go to gameplay. Fix an issue where some attacks made by Echo of Lilith would not properly trigger. Death from above cast by Echo of Lilith. Okay, so this is fixing a couple of things in the Echo of Lilith fight. So if you've had these particular issues, I don't think I've encountered these particular issues, but this might make the fight a little bit more fair because these were considered bugs. Fix an issue where Frostburn Mother's Embrace could drop as sacred and not ancestral from Tormented Echo of Arshan in World Tier 4. That's good. Fix an issue where gems could still drop from some sources such as Averse Chest. Okay, yeah, instead of gem fragments. So yeah. Gem fragments was something introduced into Season 2 that you automatically pick up, which is a really, really great way of getting some of those items out of your inventory. Fix an issue where rabies cast by Werewolf Companions from the alpha legendary aspect could miss. I don't think I understand this one because I don't play Druid, but it sounds like if you're using this alpha aspect that this got a bug fix. Okay. Maybe some druid can tell me what that means. Fixed an issue where druids could continuously run into a wall if trample was used to move towards a nearby wall. Okay, that's a good fix. Fixed an issue where treasure goblins will sometimes become invincible and run away if the player mounted or unmounted near them. Treasure goblins have had enough of your bullying wanderer. Yeah, so treasure goblins, if you didn't know, very early on, the dev team basically, they didn't want you to sort of catch up to treasure goblins by mounting and unmounting. And that led to this sort of buggy state where treasure goblins would just instantly leave, even if you were just trying to chase them sometimes. So I think they've finally gotten rid of this because people found this unfun, right? Season of Blood. Fixed an issue where blood harvesters could quickly disappear after spawning. Okay. Fixed an issue where the Norvaic enemy could spawn repeatedly in certain co-op situations. Fixed an issue where Siege of Hatred extracted by Hatred Chosen did not count towards the season journey objective progress. Fixed an issue which made potent blood drop from a blood well inaccessible. Okay, so this issue with the blood well, I know some people have mentioned this a lot, but to me personally, this doesn't really affect me, and it's such a this is such a small issue. Like, they're even giving a developer's note about how there was a previous hotfix and they're rolling back that change because now this is the permanent fix and all this kind of stuff. This is a temporary seasonal thing, the potent blood, that's only going to go until like end of January. More than anything, when I see fixes like this that are fixing the game for a very temporary amount of time, this really shows me that Blizzard cares about what's going on in the game, because this isn't even something that's going to stay in the game for that long. I mean, maybe this is a mechanic that will get reused into like evergreen content somewhere down the road, but I feel like this is just the dev team saying, hey, we care, we're going to fix it, we messed up, even if it's temporary, which is kind of cool. That's a lot of work to put in on fixing a really kind of weird problem that ultimately probably won't even stay in the game for that long. I think that just stuff like this shows that developers care. ultimately. Fixed an issue where Duriel wouldn't spawn when the player re-entered the boss arena after respawning. Oh, that's great. You don't want to waste your mats. UI and user experience, user interface. Fixed an issue where the map overlays for Helltide and Blood Harvest wouldn't display properly when entering a region covered by Fog of War. Okay, cool. Fixed an issue where the tooltip displayed while hovering over certain items could blink. I have encountered this one. This is really annoying, but not a big issue, but just kind of annoying. Fixed an issue where the text describing how to unlock mounts was inaccurate for players who skipped the campaign. Developers note, if they chose to play through the campaign, players that haven't yet unlocked mounts must complete Donan's Favors quest to unlock them. If the campaign is skipped, you must reach level 25 before unlocking mounts. The tooltip previously mentioned quest completion only, which is irrelevant when skipping the campaign. Okay, so wow, I had actually forgotten about this. Getting your mount unlocked is actually a pretty big deal. When the game first came out, we were talking about this a lot because everybody was just wondering, how do I get my mount? How do I get my mount? And it actually takes a long time. Getting to Donan's Favors quest is like 10, sometimes 15 hours into the campaign, depending on how fast you're doing the campaign. It's pretty deep into the campaign. So this is cool that they're going back and fixing this for folks who are campaign skipping. And making it clear to players. This is really just educational to new players. I think it's really cool that they're fixing this. Fix an issue where navigating to the season journey from a seasonal aspect wouldn't open the correct chapter. Okay. Navigating the seasonal stash with a controller will now be more consistent. I don't really play with the controller. I do from time to time, very rarely, but I don't think I've navigated the seasonal stash, so I'm not exactly sure what more consistent means here, but that sounds like a good fix. Miscellaneous, fixed an issue where visual effects on armor would remain fully visible while using concealment. Lilith sees all foolish wander. Concealment, by the way, is a rogue ability. Oh no, it's not a rogue ability. It's a status effect that rogues and I think druids can get sometimes. But okay, yeah. So since I mostly play Necro, I haven't really encountered this bug before. And then various visual performance and stability improved. So yeah, that looks like a pretty solid patch. I mean, particularly Abattoir of Zir, I'm really, really excited about. But even a lot of these bug fixes look like they're continuously improving the game and making Diablo 4 a very good game for the future. Hey, thanks so much for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.